Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to today's presentation, which I've entitled, Are You Suffering from Fear? You know, in our society, our economy, there's a lot of fear, a lot of concerns on the part of individuals and also on the part of business people, and rightfully so. When you take a look at tremendously rising rates of inflation, the highest we've seen in 40 years, probably over 40 years. It's pretty scary. Rising interest rates trying to offset that inflation and tamp it down to a lower level on the part of the Fed and their efforts to do so has created a lot of fear for people. But I want to tell you that fear is nothing more than an acronym, and it's spelled F-E-A-R. Fear stands for false expectations appearing real. Let me say that one more time. False expectations appearing real. And our minds have a way of always grasping this and dramatizing it, spreading it out, making it a much bigger obstacle than what it really is. Let me give you a few examples. Your business partner wants a buyout, and you think, my gosh, in these hard times, how could I possibly do it? These are tough economic times. How could I do it? These are the kind of things that happen. You're getting increasing pressure from your vendors, and they want to get paid, as I do in my business and you do in your business. We all want to get paid. So they're putting more pressure on producers, and that's a scary thing too, because you're thinking, gosh, I can't turn $1 into $2. How do I do this? So there's fear in that respect of vendor pressure. And then you get a comment from your loan officer who says, you know, I wanted to just make you aware that the bank auditors are really putting increasing levels of pressure on loan to value in our loan portfolios, on your revolving lines of credit. So I just primarily wanted to make you aware of it, and you say to yourself, gee, thanks, thanks a whole lot. I needed something else to worry about. But I think Marilyn Ferguson, the author, summed it up pretty well when she said, and I quote, ultimately, we know deeply that the other side of every fear is freedom, end of quote. Let me share that with you one more time. And I quote, ultimately, we know deeply that the other side of every fear is freedom. And that's pretty cool, end of quote. So if you see obstacles, my business coach Dan Sullivan says, they're really the raw material for future success. And I think he's right. They scare us, they create fear, but I think it's important that we keep them in perspective. Identify these obstacles and decide what you want to do with them. But first of all, I think you have to set your objective and define your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Whether it's a new business, a new activity in your business, a change in your business, whatever item you want to look at, define your why. Because if you can define the why, as I've said before, the how becomes much easier. Because then you can identify the obstacles, the challenges we need to overcome, and how to overcome them. What steps we need to take? Who do we need to get involved? What's the first step, second step, third step to overcome these? Let me give you a personal example. My firm, Success Strategies Incorporated, we're in our 25th year right now. But when I first started, at the very beginning in 1999, I looked at it and asked myself, how can I do this? How can I make this work? The problem was, yuck, there never seemed to be an answer that would suffice to overcome the fears that I had, those false expectations appearing real. So here's the thing. Once I identified my why, and that included this. Number one, I wanted to run my own business. I wanted to run my own shop, my own consulting firm. I wanted to increase the family time I had when my children were growing up and with my wife. And I think it's important, I wanted to overcome the obstacle of not just having 3 weeks, if and only if that vacation time was approved, that the dates worked for the entire other organization, the bank I worked for. So I wanted more family time. I wanted to run my own business, and I wanted to consult and help others. I saw opportunities to do so. So those were my whys, and I identified them, and then really positive things started to happen. It wasn't like in 30 minutes, but over the next couple of months, what happened was we increased the number of clients we had that we were working with. The work became very positive. We made a super positive impact on people's businesses. And today, I still do that consulting, and I do speaking and writing also. You've maybe seen some of my articles that have been published. But the key was, by identifying my why, the fears that I had about failing in that business were lost in the rearview mirror. And I have some good news for you. Yours can be too. But you have to identify your why to overcome the fears, lay out the steps. So I would suggest, let's take your business to the next level. And in this fall, I'll be working on some next level thinking workshops you might be interested in to help you do just that. Again, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. I want to thank you for listening today. Thank you very much.